soccer in the face. It's not funny. Today I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna tell you guys a little story while I get ready, but first I have to show you. Yesterday I tried crumble cookies. Well, last night I tried crumble cookies for the first time ever. What are you guys doing? Anyways, I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought it was pretty fire. I know they get a lot of really mixed reviews, but I don't know, I thought it was bussin'. I tried the Olivia Rodrigo cookie. There's like a chocolate one, I think it's chocolate strawberry, like chocolate covered strawberry. The waffle one, which I didn't try with the syrup, maybe I should, and then the lemon. And to be honest, my favorite was the Olivia Rodrigo one. I think that's fire. You can't have any. It has like this jelly in the middle. It's so good. And other updates, I did my nails yesterday. They're so cute. Let's see if I can show them. They're so cute. They're definitely giving like Y2K girly grunge vibes, and I love them. Here's the thumbs. A little texture moment. I'm obsessed with them. What do you guys think? I love that. I'm gonna do my toes today to match, but first I'm gonna get ready. Okay, I got my little headband on. I'm ready. Does anyone else lose the lids to like all of their makeup? Mostly primers and like foundations. I love the smell of this. Okay, so when I was younger, I was actually a really good kid for the most part. Like in my teenage years, I really didn't like party too much or do anything too crazy. I mean, I definitely had friends that did and it was cool or whatever, but I wasn't like running around like starting problems or I don't know, like picking on anyone. I don't know, just wasn't really my vibe. I was kind of to myself. Like I had a full-time job when I was really young, probably like starting at 13, 14 years old. So I just did not have time to be running around doing like crazy shit, you know what I mean? But one day I was hanging out with this friend of mine. Fuck, what should we give her name? We'll say her name was Jessica because I don't have any friends named Jessica. So Jessica and I were actually really close, and Jessica was like, I felt like she was a good friend to me. Like she always stood up for me, made sure that like other people weren't being mean to me. Like she was just that type of friend, and I loved her for that. So basically one day me and Jessica are riding in my car, and we see this car on the side of the road. It looks like it's like broken down or something, and there's two people there in the car, and she tells me to pull over, and I'm the one driving, so I'm like, okay. So I pull over. Mind you, I'm like maybe 16 at the time, maybe even younger. I was like, I think I was actually like 15 or 16, I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, she told me to pull over the car, so I'm like, okay, no problem. I pull over the car thinking like, oh, she knows these people, right? And like I said, Jessica's like my good friend, so I'm just like, okay, like you want me to pull over, got it. So I pull over the car and I see it's two people there, like a guy and a girl, like outside of the car, and they're definitely like stuck there. Like the car is not working, they can't go anywhere. So I pull over the car and I'm like thinking she knows these people, she's gonna want to help them, right? So she gets out and she starts like being like, what's up to the girl that's like outside of the car. Jessica starts doing that to the other girl, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, you know? Like I didn't know any context. And she's like, what's up, like basically trying to fight this girl. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm kind of just standing there because I didn't know anything. Like I'm out of the loop, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have any clue as to what was happening, and I didn't personally have beef with the girl. I knew her, like I knew her and like heard of her. I wasn't really her friend, but my town was not super huge, so like I kind of knew who she was, and I knew she had problems with a lot of people, but not with me. Like I said, I kind of just stayed out of the mix, so I didn't have shit to say. I was just standing there like, what the fuck is going on? basically the girl is like hiding behind her boyfriend, I'm assuming it's her boyfriend, and she's just like not wanting to fight my friend Jessica. My friend Jessica's like, all right, whatever. So she leaves, like she goes back to my car. She's like, let's go, like let's get out of here, right? So nothing happens. And so I'm like, okay, what the fuck? And she's like, Jessica gets back in the car with me, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what is going on? And she's like, yeah, that bitch, like I have problems with her, like this and that. And I honestly can't remember if she told me why or like what the issue was. Like, I don't remember, but all I know is I was just like, I took it for what it was, and I was like, okay, let's move on with our day, right? Me and Jessica go around, we're like doing our own thing and just kind of like enjoying our day, whatever. I can't even remember what the fuck we did that day. But it comes time that we're gonna go back to like where I live. I didn't live with my parents at the time. Like when I was younger, I had a lot of problems at home. That's for a whole nother day. But basically I lived with my friend and her family. Like it wasn't really my house. It was like someone was letting me live with them, if that makes sense. So we go back to my freaking house. We pull up to my house, and there's like all these girls outside of my house. I'm like, what the fuck? And basically they're like yelling at me. They're like, I heard you tried to jump our sister and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I didn't even know who these girls were. Like a couple of them I kind of recognized, but the other couple I was like, don't even know who you are. So like, we heard you try to jump our sister and blah da da. And I'm like, what? Like I've never jumped someone before in my life. Also, I'm not like a mean person. I really don't want to like harm anyone, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't be like jumping somebody. Like fighting somebody is one thing, but I'm not about to just like be jumping nobody, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what are they talking about? And by the way, I hadn't even got out of the car yet. Like I'm still sitting my ass in my little fucking car, and these girls are like outside of my door. How they knew I lived there, any of that, I have no idea. Basically I'm putting two and two together in my head, like, oh, that girl like that we just pulled up on the fucking side of the road, like she told them we tried to jump her. And I'm thinking like, what the hell? Like I was just standing there, I wasn't doing nothing. Like we were not trying to jump her, and she didn't even get like a finger laid on her. So I'm like confused. I'm like, what the hell? I'm trying to talk to them, I'm trying to reason with them, all meanwhile still sitting in my car, right? I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like I'm like, no, like what are you talking about? Like I didn't try to jump anybody, like what's going on? And I still have my friend Jessica with me, right? And oh yeah, we also had Jessica's boyfriend and two, like I think one other guy in the back seat. So I'm like, I'm in this car with all these people in my car, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like I did not try to jump anyone, like what's happening, you know? I'm really not trying to fight this girl, because first of all, I was pretty like timid, and when I was young, I was not trying to like fight nobody, like, or be crazy, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I realized like they're not listening, like they're not gonna reason with me, if that makes sense. Like I can tell basically everything I'm saying to them is going in one ear and out the other, and they're like mad, like they're heated, they fully are convinced of their story. You know how it is, like when somebody's fully convinced of their own version of whatever the hell happened, or they believe like whoever told them a story or whatever, like you're not gonna sit there when they're that heated and get them to listen to you, you know? And so I'm kind of like realizing that, like I'm like, this girl's not gonna fucking listen to me, like, you know, shit, like I'm gonna have to fight her. Like mind you, just for context, this girl was a lot older than me and a lot bigger than me. Like I was like a little girl compared to her. Like I was like 16, basically just like this teeny tiny little girl, and this girl was like a full-grown woman. Like she was, I think she was in her early 20s. I later found this out, you guys, but for context, that she had like gotten out of jail recently or something. Like I don't know, I had no idea any of this at the time, but I was just like not trying to fight this girl because she was way freaking bigger than me. Oh my god, This is so pretty. Putting like a little shimmer in the inner corner. Okay, anyways. Basically, so now I'm just really not trying to fight this girl. Like I said, she's way bigger than me. She's older than me. She's like a full-grown woman. Like, her leg was like the size of my teeny tiny little fucking arm. And I was just, I mean, no, her arm was like the size of my teeny tiny little fucking leg. That's what I mean. So as I'm like trying to reason with her, my window is like down, but not all the way. It's kind of like this, you know what I mean? She, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, what if she fucking punches me through the window, you know? Like, I'm thinking everything. My heart is beating. I'm like, fuck, my adrenaline's going. I'm like, I'm about to have to fight this girl. And I told her, I said, all right, fine, I'll fight you, but not here, because I don't live here. Like, yeah, I was living there at the time, but it's not my house. Like, I'm living with somebody, you know what I mean? So I'm really trying not to, like, be disrespectful. Like, I just feel like that's the most disrespectful thing you can do, is like, especially when somebody's helping you out, letting you live with them, and you're like bringing drama to their house. And like, I don't know, just in my situation as like a younger girl too, the way that my life was, and like not having my parents around and just kind of like being on the streets, for lack of a better term, I always didn't want people to think that I was like a problem, because a lot of kids in those situations like get judged and made out to be like the bad kid or like a problem kid. And I wanted to prove everyone wrong. Like, I did not want everyone to think that I was just a terrible kid who was fucking running around fighting people, starting drama, especially when I'm staying with these people, you know what I mean? Like, that's the last thing I wanted. So I'm telling the girl, please, like, I don't want to fight you here. Meet me at the park. There was a park like down the road from my house, and I was literally like, meet me at the park and I will fight you. Like, because like I said, there was no way I was getting out of this. Like, and there's a whole group of them, by the way. Like, there's no way I'm getting out of this. So at this point, I'm like, I'm either gonna have to square up with this girl, run. What am I gonna do? Run her over? Like, or I'm gonna have to just like take it and get fucking jumped. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but all I knew is it didn't need to happen in front of their house, because there was like kids playing outside too, which just made it even worse. So I was like, oh my god. So basically, I was at this point like pleading with her, please, let's go to the park. She, without responding to me, literally grabs my car door and opens it and reaches inside. And I realized at this moment, I feel like everything was going in slow motion. I realized at this moment, this girl is gonna grab me by the hair, and I'm seatbelted into my car, and she's gonna beat my ass while I'm stuck to my car. Like, I'm not gonna be able to defend myself in any way, shape, or form if I'm stuck in the freaking car and can't like unbuckle. So, and I was like, there's no way. Like, this isn't even a fair fight. This girl's so much bigger than me. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So at this point, I literally, I kid you not, I unbuckle myself, get out of the car, and I just sock her in the face. It's not funny. I do not condone violence, but this, you know, we've all done shit when we're young, and I'm just being honest, you guys. I'm not trying to be problematic. I'm just telling you a story, so take it or leave it. I realized, because I was thinking like, she's gonna beat my ass, and I'm either gonna like get in a couple hits or I'm not, and it is what it is. Like, I don't get a say in this situation. I'm not gonna like talk her out of fighting me. So I punched her in the face, and from then it was all downhill, baby. It was all downhill from there. She grabs me by the hair, and she kneed me in the head like 5 times. Like, has me by the hair, knees me in the head hella times, and then I get thrown to the ground. At this point, my earrings, I had 7 earrings on one of my ears. They had all been ripped out, like completely gone. Let me just do this little wing really quick. Oh, okay, that wasn't so bad. Is that bad? Ew, I hate it. Winged eyeliner is not my forte. but it's okay, we're gonna fix it. Their intermission, I need to get this shit taken care of. I need to clean my makeup brushes. Also, I literally can't believe I'm telling you guys this story. Like, I feel like I have so many stories like this, but like I said, I try to not be like problematic, and so I don't tell them because I don't want to make people mad. But honestly, it's been so many years, like nearly, yeah, 10 years. Like, come on. At this point, it's like, it's just a story. Okay, now that I fixed that eyeliner, another key thing I forgot to say, you guys, was that, you remember how I said there was like a ton of them? Like, I'm not kidding, there was like a whole fucking group of people there. Well, they were definitely gonna jump me, and thank God I had my friend Jessica with me, because that bitch could fight and she was not gonna let me get jumped. So there was two main girls that were like definitely gonna jump me. Jessica jumps out of the car as this is happening, and she runs over to the other girl and just starts fighting her. Thank God she was not gonna let me go out crazy. At this point, we're like straight up brawling. I'm literally not kidding. It's a full-on brawl. There's like 20 to 30 people just all in a group watching it happen. I'm on the ground, this girl is on top of me, one leg on each side of me, like I'm pinned and there's nothing I can do. And I'm like, I've never been in this situation before. Like, I had fought people in the past but never like got anyone on top of me. Like, I never let anyone get on top of me. So basically I'm just stuck here, and like I said, this girl's huge compared to me. Like, I was just a really teeny tiny little teenager. She's like 23, 24, like closer to my age now than my age at the time. So I'm like sitting there pinned underneath of her, and the only thing I could think was like, I need to get myself out of here, because like out from under her, because like I can't fight her like this, you know what I mean? I'm swinging, and I mean, I'm hitting her, but it's not like I can't roll her off. So I'm literally thinking to myself, like, my dad used to tell me, because my dad was like in prison for a while, he used to tell me like, there's no such thing as a fair fight, Tori. You either win or you lose. And I was like, right now I'm losing. So I literally brawling. I look over, I see her leg, I just bite her in the thigh. And she literally screams to everyone, she bit me. And I'm just like, but I got her off of me. I finally fucking rolled her off of me. Also, I'm not gonna lie, there's probably like videos of me getting beat up during this fight out there somewhere in the world. But basically the fight ends, like everyone goes their own separate ways, and those girls, like everyone scatters and leaves, and those girls started blowing up my phone off of random numbers, basically just being like, we want a round two, we want a round two. I'm like, girl, what more can I give you? Like, you literally beat me up. Like, you feel like you did that bad? Come on. My whole ear's bleeding and shit. Like, my shoulder was bleeding because I was like, you know, scurrying on the ground to hit her. It's like, you guys are out of your fucking mind. But basically, like, after that, it pretty much wrapped up, and for the most part, I don't think I ever really saw them again. And thank God for that, because it's too much drama for me. I remember like we went back to my friend Jessica's house, and like her older sisters saw that I had like blood on my shoulder. I still have a scar from it actually, from like, you know, fighting her while I was on the ground, the concrete like rubbing on my shoulder. And they were so mad. Like, they knew me and they knew I was like a nice person and stuff, and they were so pissed. They were gonna go looking for the girls, but I was like, no, like, let it be, like, just let it roll over, you know what I mean? Like, let it blow over. So basically at that point we just kind of like let it be what it was. And yeah, but it was just crazy, girl. I'm not even gonna lie, like, that shit was so crazy, because what the fuck do I look like fighting some bitches like outside of my house? Like, so embarrassing. I also just never really ran into them again, so that was good as well. But it was crazy because so many people were coming up to me after that fight being like, I didn't think you had it in you, and like all this stuff. I'm like, what are you talking about? I literally got beat up, in my opinion. But yeah, it's just so fucking crazy, the things that happened and happen when you're young and just dumb, and it's just insane. But let me know if you guys like this story time, because I have so many crazy ass stories like this, and like even crazier ones. But I'm just warming up. I love watching these type of videos whenever I'm like doing nails or just like bored at home, like cleaning or something. I love listening to these story times, so I figured why not make one of my own. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time, friends. I love you, I love you, I love you. Mwah. By the way, one more time for the nails, you guys. Oh wait, oh there we go. One more round of applause for the nails. Okay. Okay, I love you.